Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about how to wear burgundy. This is a continuation of my color series where I talk about one color and then I go into what it means and how it makes us feel, and then ultimately some of the easiest colors to pair with that color. That way you can add it to your wardrobe confidently and have a lot of options to mix and match. So let's get started. Like always, let's start off with what burgundy is, how we create that color by mixing other colors, and then ultimately how it makes us feel when we look at it. So in its simplest form, you can think of burgundy as a really deep red with a purplish tint. It gets its name because it's the same color or a very similar color to the wine that comes from the Burgundy region in France. So when you look at it, it should make you think of that color. Now I also want to call out here that to create burgundy, you'd start with red and then you add a little bit of green and a little bit of blue. So at its core, it tends to lean much cooler than some other colors, and it definitely has that overall feeling when I personally look at it. I also see it confused a lot or used interchangeably a lot with the color maroon, but they're actually different. So when you're not really looking at them side by side, they look almost identical, but once you put them next to each other, I think you can really start to see the difference. And burgundy, like I mentioned, is truly kind of a cooler color, especially when a lot of that blue starts to come through. And then when you look at maroon, that has more of a brown base and has a tendency to be slightly warmer. And knowing the difference between those two will be really helpful as you build your closet. So if you have cooler colors, burgundy might be better. And then if you have warmer colors, maroon might be better. Now, when it comes to what the color burgundy represents and how it makes us feel, when I did a little bit of research, I saw recurring themes surrounding wealth, ambition, and power. And I think that's true to an extent. I think subliminally, we're definitely picking up on that. And there's something very expensive feeling about the color. But then also, I think it goes deeper than that. And for me, it can be summarized as sophisticated. There's something about burgundy that is really vibrant and energizing and brings forward the passion from the red. But having that blue and that green undercurrent holds it back a little bit. So it's ever so slightly restrained. And I think that's incredibly elegant. It also goes so beautifully with other colors, as we'll talk about in just a second. But whether you're using it as a key accent of your outfit or as the total star, I think you really can't go wrong, and it's definitely one of my personal favorites. Now let's go over some of the easiest colors to pair with burgundy. So I'm going to go through kind of mini sections like I usually do, and you can definitely use this interchangeably with maroon. Just keep in mind what I mentioned at the beginning, and burgundy tends to be cooler, maroon tends to be slightly warmer, and by keeping in mind that warm and brown or that cool and blue, you can definitely start pairing things a little bit easier, because by keeping the undertones similar, it makes it really effortless, especially if you're new to color and you're stepping outside of neutrals for the first time. That will alleviate a lot of the stress and a lot of the guesswork. So when it comes to actually pairing colors, I think one of the easiest ways to do it is to break the color into its individual components and then match those with it. So when we look at burgundy, we have red, we have green, and we have blue. So if you pull out the blue and you pair burgundy with other shades of blue, whether that's a super light blue or a really rich navy, you get a calming effect. It really anchors the burgundy. It helps neutralize the red passion found within it, and I think make it really comfortable to look at and really sophisticated. This is a combination I think you can wear to an office or more formal setting. It feels a little bit preppy and definitely more corporate. So it's something you can fall back on if you're looking to add this color into your wardrobe, but you still need to be professional and buttoned up. And then if you pull out the green, what I love about this is, to me, green is super calming. I think that the familiarity of seeing it everywhere in green leaves and green grass and other plants makes it so that we're drawn to it really well and our eyes take it in a very comforting way. So by pairing it with burgundy, you offset it a little bit, but again, have a similar effect like you do with the blue. So you neutralize it and balance it out, but give it a real energy behind green. If red has a vibrancy and an energy of kind of chaotic, then green has an energy of very relaxed and soothing. So it really balances it beautifully. And I also love this because it's Christmas, but not Christmas. So you can wear it at the holidays, but then also during the fall and winter and not feel too festive, but still feel like you're participating. So definitely one of my favorites. And then of course, if we pull out the red, you really intensify that passion and the intensity found within Burgundy. You highlight that type of energy, make it a little bit more chaotic, but also really eye-catching. So this is one that you are definitely going to want to reserve for moments when you want all eyes on you. Maybe you have a really important presentation or performance of some capacity, and you want to be the star. Pairing Burgundy with red will definitely do that and make it incredibly memorable and I think very, very beautiful. You can also do this really easily by maybe wearing a burgundy outfit or a burgundy sweater and then a red lip, or an all red outfit and then a burgundy lip. Oh, I think it's so beautiful. They go so, so well together, and I definitely love it. Moving right along, I of course have to talk about black. I talk about black in every color video. It's one of my favorite non-colors. I have a lot of it in my closet, and it's really easy to find and a really low maintenance thing to have in your wardrobe. So I recommend it. And I also think that if you do favor black over navy, pairing black with burgundy is a really fun way to anchor it, but also match the energy level. There's something very serious feeling about burgundy, and when you pair it with navy, you bring forward that formality and that kind of buttoned up feeling. But when you pair it with black, you match the energy level but push it ever so slightly edgier. So it doesn't feel as corporate and as preppy, and instead feels a little bit more unexpected. And I really, really love that. I'm wearing it today. I wear it a lot, and especially if you have higher contrast or you just really like rich, saturated outfits, this is a really beautiful one to consider. And then I also really love it because you have a lot of control over how you're perceived in black and burgundy, and using that to your advantage when playing with colors is one of my favorite ways to utilize color play in a personal wardrobe. So you can wear burgundy and black and come off as standoffish and a little bit reserved, or the total opposite and make it more playful and a little bit light, simply by changing out your accessories, your hair, and your makeup. As my personal style has evolved and I've started to understand what I like more and play around with more color and really start to expand things for myself, I've really grown to appreciate the color gray. It's a color that I didn't really wear a lot before because it's a little risky to bring that color into a super minimal closet because I was unfamiliar with how to style it. So I kept things black, white, and navy pretty much exclusively. But as I've gotten more comfortable with it, I've really started to love it. And I want to talk here about gray and burgundy because there's something about gray that's very serious feeling, I think very sophisticated, and that type of energy is really brought to life by the vibrancy of burgundy. So it's almost like you're taking a piece of metal that's a little bit rusted, maybe a little worn down, you're spiffing it up and giving it a fresh coat of paint. That's how it feels when I see it paired with burgundy. I also think it looks so beautiful in the fall and specifically into the winter. It's a little bit more unexpected because, again, gray isn't a color that we see all that often. But if you have gray in your closet and you have burgundy, pair them together and I promise you magic will happen. They're so beautiful. Now, I of course also have to mention beige, and I think beige and burgundy is a really beautiful way to play with fall colors, specifically if maybe you have cooler coloring and you really want a cool burgundy, but maybe you also have a camel coat. So by pairing that beige or camel coat with your burgundy sweater or maybe a burgundy scarf, burgundy hat, you can really make it work for you in a way that feels very sophisticated. It's classically fall and I love it so much. And then of course, within this, if you are looking more towards the maroon side of things and you want them to be a little bit more brown, going for a camel or a brown will definitely pull that out and I think look really great, and again, very fall. And similarly, I think burgundy goes so beautifully with orange and yellow. It's not a combination that I really see anywhere, and I couldn't find many images to show this color combination, but there's something really comforting about it because again, it's exactly the fall changing landscape. So as the leaves start to change, any of those colors within that spectrum will go really beautiful with burgundy. I talked about these next two combinations in two recent color videos, so I will link those here for you, but I had to mention burgundy with pink and burgundy with purple. So burgundy with pink really brings out the innocence. They both share red, but Pink feels slightly softer, a little bit more lighthearted, and a little bit more carefree. Whereas the burgundy, like we mentioned, feels a little bit more serious, a little bit more conservative, and a little bit more mature. So by pairing them together, I think you get a really interesting play with different personality types of those colors, but they still go really well together. I think it's really gorgeous. And then also when you go for a purple, since a true burgundy has kind of that purplish tint, by pairing it with purple, it feels again expected and really harmonious and balanced, but there's something that feels a little bit fresher about it because it's almost like you're taking the burgundy wine and then adding water to it to dilute it ever so slightly. Or what I think is a really great way to think about it is if you're taking the burgundy wine and holding it over here in a stationary glass, and then in this glass you're tilting it ever so slightly to catch the light, it will soften it and make it more purple and really bring out that sparkle that burgundy has. So I definitely love this one. It's something that I want to play around with more because I've been trying to find a pair of burgundy pants for forever. If you have any that you've seen, please definitely send them my way because it's surprisingly difficult to find. But I have a purplish sweater that I think would go so beautifully with a pair of burgundy pants that I'm really excited to try. And last but not least is burgundy with burgundy. Of course, pairing the same color from head to toe with slight variations within them is definitely one of the easiest ways to get dressed and one of the easiest ways to play with color. So by doing this, especially as you incorporate different textures and maybe even slightly different patterns within that outfit, you create a real showstopper of an outfit. There's something really memorable about this. Every time I see a head-to-toe outfit in the same color, I can't forget it. And by really leaning into a color that you love and then pairing it from head to toe, you really make the message clear that this is your color. So if burgundy is maybe your signature, or you think it's going to become your signature, picking up a burgundy top and a pair of burgundy pants or a skirt or something, and then pairing those together when you want to feel really, really memorable is an excellent way to do that. And there you have it. Those are some of the easiest colors to pair with burgundy. They are classic color combinations that I think always look really chic. So I hope that this gave you some inspiration, whether you have burgundy in your closet already or you're looking to add it. And definitely let me know what other colors you would like to see in this series, because I'm definitely going to be making more. And like always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Have a great day.